think I am more convinced than any other time that the only thing that we can and must continue to do is to protest. The frequency of the protest will be decided and determined by protesters who are on the streets and villages and towns and cities in Kenya. If it was left to me, I would protest every day until RUTO goes. But I would wait to hear what other people will say today and hopefully tomorrow during the Sabasaba. I call upon all Kenyans who believe that they have power and they have rights to change the system, which is their system, and to take Ruto home, to show up in large numbers tomorrow during the Sabasaba with one anthem: Ruto must go, which would symbolize the dissolution of his entire administration so that we can transform Kenya. I thank everybody. Viva.
Thank you so much, Daktari, for having time to come and at least address us and also speak to us. And also, we are here to champion the way forward for the Sabasaba, and Sabasaba has a history. So those people doesn't know the history, read the history and know why it was started. Thank you so much, always, Daktari. Maj, how many minutes can we give? Then we
Okay, let's wind up at the top of the hour.
Okay.
I would like to say also, as we converse, let's keep Kingsman kindly mute. Yeah, let's keep within the confines of the law, because as we began this discussion and until now, the conversation of Dr. Miguna pegs onto Article 1 of the Constitution, meaning still within the legal grounds. So there was a speaker here, and I did not want to interrupt or act like I'm reacting. Was talking about bazooka and nuclear weapons. No, we're not going to any war anywhere. I mean, it is good to talk about such things when, you know, it's easier to talk about them when you're coming to a space. But let's understand that we have a legal responsibility also for the space. So we want to distance ourselves from such statements. We want to distance ourselves from, you know, unfounded statements that one cannot back up with evidence. And we do not want to glorify violence or threaten and say you're coming with nuclear weapons. We are very aware which countries have those nuclear weapons, and also aware of when they can be used. So please, let's not come with such claims. They're not helping here. They're just watering down the conversation. So as we continue, we're ending at the top of the hour, but remember that Daktari will listen to the end and pick your questions for the next session, or even just he can even answer via tweet. Be Real or Kingsman, and then we cue these the rest of the speakers as we finish at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I think mine is to echo on what you said, Marge, that this movement is not about use of violence. It's about using all means that are available legally, and it's a civil discourse. It's a conversation that we are having. Whatever we are doing is within the Constitution of Kenya, and our guidance as of now is Article 1 of our Constitution, which says that people can exercise power either through the elected leaders or they can exercise power directly. So what we are doing currently is having a discourse between how do we want our nation to move, which way is appropriate for us. Are the leaders that are here currently serving purpose? Are they doing whatever they were elected to do? So now that we felt like the leadership at the moment is not doing that, it's why we are taking the discourse to the streets, marching peacefully, no violence whatsoever in our cause, and we've kept on insisting that our only weapon is a bottle of water and a phone, and maybe an instrument. And we've said we're marching in black, green, and black, green, and white t-shirts or colors. So whoever was that speaker, please, this is not a violent movement. We are not planning whatsoever way to overthrow the government or take power forcefully or through use of violence. This is a peaceful demonstration as prescribed in our first article of the Constitution, whereby people can either exercise power indirectly or directly.
Yep.
So over to you, Biril.
Okay, Billy, as you come in, we want to remind our speakers, Maj, that again 2 minutes each for us to keep it. We have so many people are still. Well, they have been here 4 sessions and they have never have a mic. So today we want to try our best. At least we see if they can have a mic. Billy, go ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. for the continued points on matter of constitutions and the guidance into, because you've been into the generations where such things have happened, and we really appreciate this. I will not repeat what everyone else has said because we're all here, and those who've been here, we just in one course, just getting guidance from Dr. and to keep on with the course because it's a journey that has begun. And as I mentioned in the last space, when you're going on a journey, some people will drop on certain stages. So for those people who dropped yesterday, like the betrayal that happened with one of the team members that have been actively participating in this movement, we want to urge everyone else that you drop the casket where it has dropped and you move on because you cannot carry a load with us. So I want to appreciate everyone. And as you're going tomorrow for the Sabasaba, everyone, you know, our core value is peace, 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 and we are peaceful. God bless you, everyone. And let's continue contributing on positive vibes and on the production onto the level and our cup, our eyes on the cup. So back to you, Hilary. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Biril. And as we continue, let's not forget to build the network, follow the host, the co-hosts, speakers, look left and right and follow each other. Solomon, Duncan, and Komwanza in that order, 2 minutes each.
Thank you so much. And I really want to thank the
Solomon,
organizers of this.
Can anybody else hear Solomon?
I can
Can
hear
you
him.
hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
It means I might need to log out and come
Yes,
back.
just a minute.
Yeah, okay. Then Biril, continue with him as I log out and try to come back again.
Okay, Solomon,
Okay.
carry on.
Go
but
on,
how come I
Solomon.
can
Thank
hear the
you.
other one? Who's speaking?
Solomon speaking.
Okay.
Can you get me?
Biril, then continue.
Yes, carry on, please.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, the organizers of this meeting, for this kind of meeting, because I've actually found it quite different from the others. But just quick to what I wanted to say is that how can we actually, because the reason why we are on the street is actually try to change things that are actually affecting our well-being as a country. We actually not trying to overthrow the government, but we are actually trying to keep it on its toes. So how can we do it without overthrowing William Ruto, but trying to make him give the correct governance that we want in this country? And the next one, kindly, how can we actually use the platform, which is the digital platform, like for example, those are on the Twitter, because going on the street is actually killing us. So how can we mix them and help us win the war? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Solomon. Kings, let me take this just for a minute. You've been here, sorry. Solomon, thank you for that. I think that was addressed onto the last topic. So we'll do a recap maybe on the comment section because we have so many ways of doing so, as Dr. mentioned. One is deplatforming them, and two is unfollowing them, like not giving them that audience that they're always looking for. And then on the part of demonstration, we're not going to tire. We're still going to go on as peaceful. But when we see the goons, we shy off and we let them have it. That's what we discussed last time. So I will take, it was Komwanza, you were given a cue. So it was Duncan and then Komwanza, you can take the mic as the other people that are hosting come back online. Komwanza or Duncan, take it.
All right. Thank you so much, the co-host and the host and the rest of the audience. Well, I would want to answer the previous speaker first before I make my submissions. He asked, how can we hold the president accountable without overthrowing the government? And I realized that he's asking this question because such an action, especially of overthrowing the government, has the potential to throw us into anarchy. One, I think our constitution is one document that we have not appreciated so far, and the potential it has to correct any problems that may exist in governance. We do have checks and balances that are inbuilt in the executive, parliament, and the judiciary. Each of these institutions is supposed to be independent and to be able to check the other. Parliament is the one that is supposed to check the executive. It's supposed to check the president and make sure that he exercises his power as the president, executive power, within the limits that are established by our constitution. The problem that we have currently is that Parliament has been co-opted. It has been compromised. Most of these MPs, as I'm told, are sometimes very susceptible to bribery. And I think that now compromises the whole thing. We no longer have faith in the institutions. In fact, if Parliament was doing its work, it wouldn't matter who RUTO is or the president is. It wouldn't matter whether we have a dictator or whoever, because the institutions will keep him in check. So I would advise us to perhaps focus on...
and please land in the next 1 minute, because we're still doing 2 minutes each. Komanza, back to you.
Thank you. Sure, yeah. So I would encourage us first to ensure that we... let's look at Parliament. I don't know if we're looking at the end goal should be the dissolution of Parliament, the recall of the MPs. Any of those can work, but the most viable and the one that is being pursued by the opposition right now is a recall of errant MPs. Let's exercise that clause that allows us to recall an MP who is not being representative of his people, if we cannot dissolve it entirely, so that every parliamentarian knows that when he goes to parliament, he is there to represent the will of the people, to exercise delegated power. And when they do not exercise that delegated power as the people have determined within themselves, then of course as the people we have this avenue of recalling them as a way of punishing them. So that should answer the question. And I think because my time is up, I'll yield it to the next speaker.
Thank you. Sorry that I'm cutting you short, but it's only that, time is short and I try to finish at the top of the hour. I would nevertheless like to agree with you in the sense that if the legislators were acting in accordance to the expectations, we wouldn't even be in this at this point in the very first place. Where we part ways is on of course, the need to recall them is clear, but the constitution as it is now really protects them from recall. So it's can be done, but there are a lot of things that are still, there are a lot of hurdles in there that at least the legal experts share with us the last time we held a space on how to recall an MP. So this is the point whereby when we have, a next opportunity, we should try to have that checked, because currently really recalling them is not easy. You want to put that out. Now let's move to Duncan. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you much. I'm
Kingsman,
slightly
when you say something,
disappointed.
just open your mic and chime in.
Is Duncan?
Yeah,
Can you hear
on
me?
the same.
Uh,
Duncan, a minute before you proceed. I just wanted to comment on the issue of recall. As we had said before, in our conversation last week, remember we had said that one of the things that we need to do is maybe insist on the reconstitution of IEBC, which will help us in terms of ensuring that even if a certain constituency wants to recall their member of parliament, then there is a body that we will oversee that process. So one of the things that now we should also be on the streets on is like, actually it said that in 10 days we'll be reconstituting IEBC. So I think he has 2 or 4 days. So much, I believe as much as they have made it impossible, we should try as much as we can to make it seem to them that is possible, so that these people know that they do not really have time to joke around us. They do not really have time to talk shit the way they do, like the way Akina Mohammed, the former KTN journalist, is speaking to the people of Nyali. So I think these are some of the discourse that we will have in future, and see as to how we can make these people, we can recall them and make the life of this regime as hard as possible.
Thanks,
Thank
Kingsman.
you.
Then, sorry,
Matt, I
go
want
on,
to
go on.
remind everybody.
Yeah, Hillary, go on.
I want to remind everybody that we still have more than 100 requests on the speaker. So when you go a speaker, just keep it short for us to have everybody. And we are thinking to add more time, but we have 20 minutes to go, guys. Tomorrow we have another space that is coming in for the diaspora. I know, Marge, you're going to announce that so that people can come, and also you can post the link there for many people to attend the same thing. I think the feedback from diaspora. You're roasting that. So Duncan, go ahead. Then Majid give the mic.
All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay. So
I cannot hear
I was
Duncan. Can you hear
reflecting.
him?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay, Duncan going 2, 3,
Okay.
4.
All right.
You can drop him, then
Okay.
we
Checks.
give him or
Yeah,
checks.
checks
Checks, go ahead.
only. Yeah.
Okay.
Checks, you have a mic? Magic, can you hear him?
I can hear you, but I cannot hear checks. And I think she's dropped.
I'm here.
Okay, go on.
Go ahead, Checks.
Mine is quick. I just
Check
wanted to
is
ask
talking.
the general if we can have a specific day we can be exposing corruption. I was suggesting maybe like a hash corruption Monday Kenya, so that even if we are recalling people can know why are we recalling our MP, why are we recalling this CS, why are we recalling this, why do we want this person to be out of government. So I have been discussing this with several people, and I would want the general to tell us whether it could be effective, because there are so many people who cannot be able to join even the protests. Some people who are not even in Kenya, so how can they contribute? Other people are afraid of coming out and whistleblowing, so maybe they can even create pseudo accounts and be exposing. So I would want to know from also other people whether it can be effective and how do they feel about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And now we go to Mandela. And Hillary, as requested, I've posted the link to the space that we're holding tomorrow. So guys, tomorrow we are holding a space where diasporans are going to be providing their feedback on the situation, the current situation that's going on. It's going to be a compounded feedback. At first, there was a lot of propaganda around the space where it was wrongly put out there that we would be hosting the president. This was untrue. This is something that was fueled by people who were paid, and a lot of people just joined in and started bashing me the whole time. So how can you host the president? Whereas nowhere was it stated that we are hosting the president. Like if you look at the topic of the day, you see here clearly conversation with General Dr. MIGUNA. So if you invite a speaker and you even want to talk to them also as the main speaker, it's clearly is on the headline. That was not the case. This is just a reminder of how the mercenaries are really working, because they wanted to paint me as a regime apologist. But while they were doing this, at the same time, they were reaching out to me, asking me to join the RUTO space and promising me a mic, which of course I did not join the space. And after I did not recall the space, after intimidation, and did not cancel it, they still reach out to me and requested to co-host, and I said no. Of course, they are reaching out to me through a proxy who, is really very deep in the government. So this is not a government space. And so, guys, before you follow, if you see somebody being trolled out there, just before you troll because therapy is, trolling is cheaper than therapy, think about it. Just think about it, what you're doing, because some of you people worked for the government that's brutalizing and killing people. Just, I don't even know how to say this, but this is very sad, because when we come out to help, some people might think that you're cloud chasing. We're not cloud chasing. It's because we lived under dictatorship. We don't want to see that again, and we're not the kind who could say, okay, let's just go. It's summertime, because say, let's take a flight to Mallorca there and go to the beach. It won't even change a thing. But we say, no, we're fighting for our country. When we fight, but we also have to fight with some of you who did not even read the message but are just working blindly for the government. It makes it very difficult. Now, let me not take a lot of
Yeah.
time. Yeah. But
Yeah, but
yes.
to add on that is that I think it's so good. Even me, I was called yesterday to listen and also to be given a mic. But I want to say that we're not part of that. We're just making sure that the voice of the people is heard clearly, and people getting their rights. It is leaders will be here and they will go, but leaders will come. But people will remain. We will remain Kenyans and make sure that things are running well. So the tomorrow's I want to add that tomorrow's space is not about the president and everything, but about the feedback from the diaspora, those people who voted for the current regime, and even the people who didn't vote for him. So we are giving that report will be there tomorrow. So come and well listen. Mandela, go ahead. Then John Maina, then Brennan, in 2 minutes, guys, and then Kitonyi that way. And as we wind up.
Good evening, fellow agitators. Kindly indicate if you can hear
Here,
me.
Mandela, can you hear him?
Mandela can hear you. Good evening, fellow criminals.
All right, thank you. I would like to agree
Kingsman
with.
Mandela anaongea?
Yes, we can hear him. And
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay, go ahead Mandela. Mimi sikusikii lakini endelea tu. Ukimaliza
All right, thank you. I would like to agree with what has been said. That number one, we are advocating for non-violence. The same movement of non-violence is what Mahatma Gandhi used at a feeble age, and he caused a revolution in India at that time in the 1930s. We can use non-violence. It is the best form of revolution that we can do in our time right now. And number two is that we shun any form of violence, because if we go for a revolution, I heard the host Madge really also insisted that we we should not speak or act in a manner like to suggest that we are overthrowing the government in any way, because that is a form of violence in my view, and that would lead us to a bloody revolution that James Orengo once cautioned that such revolutions are the likes that eat their children. And we can borrow a leaf from what happened during the French Revolution, where a reign of terror ensued because the people beheaded the king, yet the problem did not end with the king. They continued with beheading almost everyone, even the revolutionaries themselves. So my 2 points were I support non-violence, peaceful demonstration, and getting a revolution without any form of violence, and shunning any form of violence in all its kinds. If I have maybe 1 second, I would introduce myself properly. My name is Dr. Mandela Ogada. I work in the oncology space, and in an ideal world, young doctors like myself would be somewhere doing research on how to treating diseases and ensuring that we live in a peaceful world. But we have realized that Kenya is really not an ideal world. It is entirely dystopic, and we realize that this battle is for all of us, from all spheres, from all walks of life. We have to join hands together and uh, cause a change that we will be proud of and that we will pass on to our next generations. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your sentiments and for also underlining that we want to stay within the law. This is really now clear to everyone. Kitonyi, please go. We cue you before, but you didn't speak. I see your hand is up. Please say something.
Okay, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so my first question is that I'd like somebody to respond to me that is it possible, like our previous speaker said, that we can occupy the embassies to reiterate that we really want a change. Number two, my other question is where did the rain start beating us? And I want to critically say that our constitution gives us the right to recall all the MPs and all those who we elected. But now when those institutions became not independent, they are now dependent, and actually they are dependent on the executive. That is where the problem is. Is there a way of making sure that we can make these institutions independent? The parliament should be independent, the judiciary should be independent, and they should not be compromised by the executive, like we have seen in our Kenya, our country that we love. Really, somebody should tell me this. The last one, as I finish, because I don't want to take much of our time, is to ask whether tomorrow we are going to fight for our freedom, just like Matiba, just like Rubia did. During that time, they wanted free elections. Tomorrow, can we have an hashtag that we want to say we want free or transparency in our governance, so that we really build this country and look into the future 50 years from now, and our children, our generation will say, really, we and our forefathers who are us today. We are the millennials and the Gen Zs. Can we really do that? Thank you very much for listening to me. I donate my remaining time to the next speaker.
Thank you so much. I'd like to really at least probably answer some of your questions there. For tomorrow, what is planned, as I have understood, is they're going to remember the fallen heroes at Uhuru Park. So this is what is planned. Regarding your question on if embassies should be occupied, I think that was just raised here, but that's something that can be clarified. However, like in any country you are in, most embassies are like the grounds of the embassy are those countries themselves. So like if you're in China and the embassy, the Kenyan embassy in China, when you within that ground, you actually in Kenya then. So that would mean technically attacking those countries. So we would need to check on the legal implications before because I don't want to give a guesswork for an answer here. So let's have legal experts answer that. But yes.
Thank you very much. So Maji, you can engage Dr. Miguna on this, so that tomorrow in our space, if he will be there, he can answer us, because I also think it is going to be illogical and irregular for us to attack or to occupy the so-called the embassies.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Because you remember we want to also stay within the legal grounds. Kingsman.
It is just to echo on what you said, Marge, is embassies are territories of those countries that it's like you'll be going to attack another country. Those are not our territories. We should remain within our discourse is within Kenya, not those embassies. So because also relationship between us and other countries that are our allies are beyond RUTO and any other government. So I think those are out of bounds. We have too much space where we can occupy. There is Uru Highway. There are so many places that people can convene and march and demonstrate without really us going into. I don't think if it is even appropriate for us to do that. There is so much space, and we do not really have a problem with them. We have a problem with our own regime that we got into power, not those embassies. So I don't know, but Daktari can maybe on our next session, Daktari can have he can, from a legal perspective, he can
Yes,
advise
and
as
so
well.
far that was also not the target. So if he is going to answer that question, he's purely going to answer it from an informational point of view there. Yes, so okay, because we want to really just stick to the topic. And Hilary, I think we were to close, so we are not adding any more speakers, unfortunately.
Yep, we're not adding. I think the guys who are here, give them 1 minute,
Yes.
and then we.
Okay.
Yeah.
George, Ahmed, Lupamo, John, Alfredo, in that order, and then Hannah.
Thank you very much, Maj, Hillary, and co-host. Now I have
Can you hear
just
George? I
some.
cannot hear him. Okay,
He is
then
Yes, you can
speaking,
hear
Maj.
him.
when he's done, somebody give me a hint here.
Okay, all right. George, go ahead.
Okay, now I have a few compliments which will take almost like some seconds. One, I'm very happy with the way we are instilling in discipline to this government. We are telling them that we are not all that uneducated the way they think we are. The reason is when they can start, each and every person is now confessing, we are not going to do this, meaning this that they were forced to do something, and ordinary Kenyans are now telling them that this is not the way to go. You are under our custody. Those people, elected people, are under our custody. They are working for us, and they should not show us the middle finger. That is the only thing I can say for now, and thank you very much for giving me a mic for today. Thank you very much. I'll talk next month.
Thanks. Now I can hear him.
Beautiful, beautiful. Mad,
Yes,
now you can
but
hear.
go and cue the rest, Kings.
No. Let them finish, and then we can have maybe a
Okay.
word before we close. I think Miss S, or I think George has spoken. Yeah, Miss S, you can go. Hey, Amis is like he's not. Amis.
Ahmed, your mic is open. Can you hear him much?
No, I cannot hear him.
Okay.
So.
Okay, John Minor.
This one.
Okay, Alfredo Gola.
Alfred or John Maina, are you here, guys? I know. And Anna, go ahead.
Thank you, Hillary. Much. Thank you, Kings. I was in and out of the space because I'm having a lot of technical issues and I could not hear anything, so I just decided to leave. Sorry, I know you're closing, but I just wanted to pick up on the 7-7 Mandamano. Thanks to the doctor, he's given a background on what brought the 7-7 Mandamano issue. And clearly, to be honest, those things still. Somebody's got his mic open. I don't know. I'm having an echo.
Kingsman. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Those issues have not yet been rectified, or those issues still existence today, and that is most of the reason right now the Gen Zs are out there. But I think this 7-7 would be different from any other, because it would be it coincides with whatever that has been happening for the last few weeks, and a lot of people think the grievance is with the RUTO, or it's with the finance bill that was done in Washington. But no, it's much more. It's deeply rooted than that. We've got a system that has been installed there by neocolonialism that has actually made it work for them, but not deliver for the ordinary Kenyan. Now, coming back to the issue of 7-7, those things are still there. During those Moi regimes, we had the Wagala massacre. Nothing has been done to it up to today. So if anybody is under the illusion that Duale and the likes are now in the government, therefore the NFD people are okay. No, they are not okay. We've had toxic waste, nuclear toxic waste being dumped on those regions. Now, if you look at those regions statistically, we have the highest amount of cancer cases. Nobody has paid the price for that. Somebody somehow in the government took some money and decided, let's just put the waste over there. You've got the Wagala massacre. Those people have had during Moi, I don't know, many of you don't even maybe know, but there was another identification card. People have Kenyan ID, but people in those regions, they had another ID, which it used to be called pink card. So they had pink cards. So if you don't have a pink card, you couldn't even vote, regardless of you having a Kenyan ID, regardless of you being a Kenyan. So do those things still exist? Absolutely, they do. Because if somebody goes, forget about RUTO paying a lip service saying that would not be questioned, but no, you have to bring your grandfather, you have to sit on a committee in order for you to obtain just a simple ID.
Can you still hear Hannah? I cannot hear her.
We've lost her. We've lost her. I think she has dropped. She has
Okay.
Oh
dropped.
my.
So Kingsman, closing remarks?
Yeah, maybe mine is just to echo on what we've been saying. Maybe the politicians that are here are wondering, maybe are these people, maybe are they is it like maybe they want to run in 2027? Are they looking for a political opportunity? No, 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 no. I am not interested in politics whatsoever. But again, you realize whatever you do, politics is part and parcel of your life. When you wake up in the morning, you waking up is politics. You taking your breakfast in the morning is politics. You leaving your house, driving all the way to work is politics. So politics encompasses the life that we live. And I feel like for us to take this discourse to another level is we now need to start civic education. We need to keep this discourse going each and every day. There is no relenting, because if you do, then you'll be getting people who have never, like, the only thing that Sudi has ever contributed in parliament is taking an oath and maybe voting yes for this finance bill. So I'm happy that now the tribal card is now no longer at play, because people are now realizing that governance, finance bill, appropriation bill, and then the taxation measures that are being taken by government are affecting us across the divide. It doesn't matter which tribe you come from. It doesn't matter which region of the country you come from. These people, when they implement these laws, oh dear, you will be affected, your family will be affected. Some of the things that are doing can put you out of business. So as as a nation and as a people, it is time for us to keep on keeping on in terms of asking questions, going to the streets. Tomorrow, let's be there for the Saba Saba. If our uncles, our friends, and the leaders that were there before wouldn't have gone to the streets, the likes of Miguna being arrested for fighting for multipartyism, then we couldn't be here. Remember the journey that we walked through for us to get the 2010 constitution, the lives that have been lost, the people that have died before us, and for us to reach here, it has costed the country so much. So we shouldn't let anyone take this and say that now they are running away with this. Remember, the only part of the conversation that we are getting involved is we are the ones that are being served. When they collect this revenue that they are collecting, they will use it the way they are using it in travel expense. Imagine a governor of Nairobi going to Diani to discuss a budget of Nairobi. So that is the kind of governance that we have in this country. Just wastage, 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 wastage. And We want to push these people to the corner until when someone will be looking or being offered a public position, they'll be like, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not ready to get my blood pressure from 100 to 250 there. So let's make a pilferage of public resources as painful as it can get. So I think that will be my point today. Let's continue this conversation. Follow us, follow the host, follow the co-host, follow each other. The bigger we get, the better. And remember, we are strong in numbers. Our numbers are what are making us strong, and it is what will make us be heard out there. So thank you so much, Hillary. Thank you, Marge. I think Real Nani dropped, and thank you, Daktari, for giving us time, and everyone that has participated here, either through being part of those who spoke or being a listener. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good morning wherever you are.
Thanks so much, Kingsman. I'll close now also and then give the mic to Hilary to close. I would like to thank, of course, Dr. Ray in absentia. He's coming back, of course. He's going to listen to the part of the space that was, happened after him. Joe Gashiko, I tried to add you, but it's not working. I don't know what's going on. Even Hannah dropped there. But I'd like to thank everyone for staying on board also and listening in. What I want to say is that whereas we might not be home and we might not speak as you expect, and that might cause ridicule on the other side and other comments on this other side, we have in real sense experienced Sabasaba. Well, growing up, we have had to hide or lie to plain clothed policemen who came home looking for our fathers. So each Kenyan out there has their history and has their contribution, and these are some of the things that are making them move. Somebody would ask, if those people were saying, Marge, you're centering yourself. Why would I center myself? We've worked so hard in the diaspora. We want to, and some of you do not want to hear the word diaspora. That is it. In fact, somebody who's here, for them, Kenya is also a diaspora. That is some of the things that you people do not know. So you people who are back home there, you're also in another diaspora. So, but what I'm trying to say is, do not look at somebody and say they're far away, they cannot help in the struggle. They can indeed do. They have their reasons, and they want to just have a better Kenya together. Another thing is that we do not, and I want to highlight this, we are not promoting violence here. We do not want to promote violence. We distance ourselves from it. And so if you want to exercise your right, your constitutional right to picket, please do that it's your right, but please nevertheless stay within the law. If you come to our spaces, would like to point out that you should avoid defamation, because if you don't have evidence, that will come to you. So please, we don't take any responsibility for potential defamations or anything that you would need to take the responsibility for. Now, we still have a lot of people on the who are requesting for the mic. Unfortunately, we have to close. Nevertheless, we have planned a space tomorrow where diasporans are going to come in and give their feedback. I see some of them are still requesting for the mic. Do join the space tomorrow, then give your feedback. And then that is going to be a recorded feedback that whoever wants to hear can hear and take note of, what we as Kenyans also, want to provide as feedback there. That might amplify the feedback already provided in Kenya, that might amplify other things, so that space there is also for Kenyans, and we are Kenyans globally. That having been said, I thank everyone and I say good night and God bless you. Over to you, Hilary.
Thank you so much, Marge. Thank you so much, Kingsman, and our sincere appreciation going to Daktari for agreeing to be with us here for a while, and also speak about and give some background of Sabasaba. We want to thank him so much, and also our sincere people who usually comes here, Marge. We cannot forget to send our gratitude to them, because without them we cannot have this conversation. So we really, really appreciate your time. And we said that when we were starting this space, that this just a starting point. Our conversation will go. We will move forward as much as we can with different things that is coming in. And as we said, follow each other all the time, keep alive all the time, and make sure that all the spaces that is coming up come and be part and parcel of it. And we want to say that we are very sorry that there's some people who have been requesting mic, but we are not managed to, due to time, and also we have tried our best to keep it 2 minutes, but we are taking notes always, and we are trying to see how many people didn't get a mic this time, so that in our next session we start with them. When you keep time, when you keep time is better. That's why we're saying that. So follow each other for you, so when we start the space, at least you are there in time. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. Keep it alive all the time, and God bless you. Have a blessed night. This is Hilary Gondi hosting today, and may we see each other next time. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Bye.